All right, guys, what is up? How's everybody doing today? Kind of a longer day out there on a Saturday, but good news is I have some time right now to crank out some videos, and it's constantly breaking news, and I'm really excited tonight to break down two of these new staff additions, and then we actually have live 2023 high school commits. Wide receiver and running back coach, I'm not even sure that spot is filled, but basically Sean Lewis is helping out Coach Prime, Coach Deion Sanders. So we're going to talk about what Colorado is up to in terms of the hiring process, in terms of what coach is looking for, okay? Basically, there are two guys from Vanderbilt University, Nashville, that are coming together, and they have prior working relationships together. And one guy just recently came from LSU, and that is Corey Phillips. Corey Phillips is the older of the two, but Corey Phillips was a high school coach in Nashville, Tennessee. Corey Phillips is going to be the recruiting player personnel director. So he's going to be dealing with like player personnel and recruiting. So Corey Phillips is a guy that started out, so he was a high school coach, and then he went on the Vanderbilt staff, Derek Mason, from 2018 to 2020, and there he was working as directing recruiting for Derek Mason in Vanderbilt, okay? So he was at Vandy, then he went to NC State with Dave Duran, and they really built a team there at NC State. I mean, what were they last year? 9 wins, 10 wins at NC State with Dave Duran. Like, he took that program to a new level. And then this year, he helped Ed Orgeron and probably helped Brian Kelly supplement like one of the great 2022 recruiting classes that LSU has had. Shelton Sampson's a wide receiver there, but you have on the offensive line, you have Will Campbell and Emory Jones that are stud freshmen. And then, of course, he was part of the recruiting of Harold Perkins that right now looks like the 2023 going to be first-round pick. He plays like Micah Parsons and Lawrence Taylor for college. He's one of the best freshmen that you will ever see. So Corey Phillips has tremendous experience. Raleigh, LSU, and other things like that. Gosh, I'll be perfectly transparent here. If I had to get a new shirt, I had to, but this dang lemonade, a little spillage there. But we move on, right, and we get through it. So, Corey Phillips, LSU. All right, Corey Phillips, LSU, but he worked at Vanderbilt from 2018 to 2020, and now that brings us to Darius Darden-Box. And Darius Darden-Box is around 29, 30 years old. Very young, okay? But he was a wide receiver at SEMO at Southeastern Missouri State. All right, so that's where he played his football, and he was a really good wide receiver there, okay? And then he was very impressive, and he's from Nashville, so Derek Mason decided to hire him as a quality control offensive guy from 2018 to 2020, and in 2018, Vanderbilt was good. They went 7-5 with Derek Mason. Their offense broke a lot of records with Kyle Shermer's son at quarterback there, so he was a part of that offensive success. Then, when Derek Mason was let go after a long time at Vanderbilt, he moved on to Auburn as a defensive coordinator. Then what ended up happening was Darius Darden-Box. He ended up moving to the recruiting side of things as Clark Leah moved in a new staff. Now, I think Corey Phillips is very impressive as well, even though Clark Leah elected not to keep Corey Phillips. So the new coach at Vanderbilt in 2021, he kept Darden-Box on the staff. He let go of Corey Phillips. But for those 2 years, first of all, these guys are both from Nashville, so they're both born and raised in the 615, Corey Phillips and Darius Darden, and they have a relationship. And that's a key with what Coach Prime, Coach Deion Sanders, what he is trying to do there, all right? He's trying to get guys that know each other and work together, okay? That's exactly what he wants. So, Darden-Box now, he was working as an offensive guy, and then I think Barton Simmons came in as the director of recruiting and basically the GM. So, and that's not really an offense to, I believe, Corey Phillips, because one, Barton Simmons is a 24/7 guy, and Barton Simmons, one of the most famous scouts right now, college football scouts in the world, is working at Vanderbilt University, getting paid very well to basically leave scouting and become the general manager for Vanderbilt football alongside his high school teammate, Clark Leah. And Clark Leah, you guys remember him, Notre Dame defensive coordinator that's now at Vanderbilt. They're trying to build something there, 5-7, couple of good wins. But Barton Simmons, basically, he ran 24/7. All right, that's what Simmons did. What Barton did is that he was at 24/7 and he was running things at 24/7. All right. And 10 years of 24/7 recruiting, he's like the godfather of breaking down tape. And still young and youthful, rated Jamar Chase very high, rated Honey Badger, Henry Ruggs, like all these guys. He was very, very important in the sphere of 24/7. And now you guys know 24/7. It's the site that I use. It's one of the biggest sites that is out there. Josh Pate, all those guys over at 24/7 that break news, and it's exploded. And it's done that from Nashville, Tennessee, and Barton Simmons is from Nashville, and then he went over to Vanderbilt, okay? And that's where Darius Darden-Box then went from an offensive assistant. He stayed on the staff. As Corey Phillips went to NC State and LSU, he stayed on the staff, and then he learned from Barton Simmons. So he has great relationships. So now Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, now he's going to have great relationships with 24/7. He's going to know. Darius Darden knows how everything is broken down. Okay? He knows how everything is broken down. That's what Darden-Box is all about. He knows everything about stars, about ratings, about who might be overrated, who's underrated, how do people get stars. You learn that all from sitting in a room with Barton Simmons for the past 2 years. That's how you learn it. So I love these hires. These are big-time hires. And for Deion Sanders, for Coach Prime, to really have relationships, to have strong relationships with the guys that control the stars like 24/7, it can only be a good thing. Now, could it lead to like maybe warped opinion or whatever? Yeah, because sometimes stars are not always correct. But when you have access to the guys that are ranking these things, when you have great relationships with the scouts, I think that that's a beautiful thing. So these are incredibly important. And by the way, colleges are going to need to invest now, not only in high school scouting. You know what you're going to have to invest in? Transfer portal scouting. We're not going back to the age of just now, where you need to review 17-year-old tape or junior tape in high school or senior year of high school. It's free agency in college football. That's what the transfer portal is all about. You got to have guys watching games all the time from around the Power 5 level, and you got to see all of these talents, or even scouring to the FCS levels, talented players at FCS football. You need to watch college football, because you could build half your roster on college kids. So you need scouting. You need double the ammunition. You need double the personnel. You need double the artillery, all right, in this field. So this is obviously for recruiting and everything. These are two of the most important hires on the staff. I think they nailed it here at Colorado with these two guys. I'm really excited. They're great friends, and Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, Coach Sanders, he nailed this hire. I think he did a great job here.